Hello, and welcome to Drive Time with KJ. I'm your host, KJ Bell. This is the show where I get in my car and I start driving and I complain about things. So we're going to do that right now. As soon as this person, well, by all means, move at a glacial pace. Today we're talking about why high school is awful. And if you're one of those people who thinks it was the greatest time of your life and you peaked there, I'm sorry. That's sad for you. And if you're there currently, my condolences. So the thing about high school is people expect you to act like an adult, but also enjoy the last vestiges of your childhood. But also, you don't know anything because you're a kid. But also, why don't you grow up? Stop acting like a child. I'm getting mixed signals here. I feel like that's what a lot of high school is. It's just a lot of mixed signals. Wow, okay, so you just... if I have to turn left, and I know it's not going to happen, I will just turn right and find another solution. I won't just shove my way and block 6 lanes of traffic. I'm important. I must turn left here now. I can't possibly figure out another solution of circling a block or 3. I hate people. I really do. You got to deal with the cliques. Cliques in high school, and they're all the popular people. If you're not one of the popular people, people are always like, well, they won't be anything in 10 years. Just wait 10 years, you'll be much happier. And sure, probably. And it's usually true, but how is that supposed to make you feel better when you're in the thick of it? Don't worry, it gets better. Okay, well, it's awful now. BMW, of course. Tell me, if you drive a BMW out there, do you have to be an asshole before you get one, or do the keys put that in you? It doesn't help that you're in that time where everything feels like a huge deal. Everything feels just so huge, and it's my life. And then you look back and it's like, girl, it was not that big a deal. Not that dramatic. No, not at all. Wasn't that big a deal. And sure, a lot of those popular people, they will peak, they will live sad lives, but some of them won't. You'll go to a reunion, or this will be why you will avoid the reunion. You'll go to a reunion and you'll see on the Facebook or whatever social media is popular at the time, about how great their life is. It's wonderful. It's so great. And it's usually the people that you wanted to see burst into flames the most that are living just very successful lives. I'm not bitter. Not bitter at all. But honestly, if I wasn't bitter about anything in life, would this show even exist? Probably not. Definitely not. And it's that thing of people keep telling you enjoy the last vestiges of your childhood because soon you'll be out in the adult world. Okay, well, how am I supposed to do that? How am I supposed to do that when you were all giving me all these mixed signals about being an adult, but also you have to figure out school and you have to know what you're majoring in and figure out college and do all the applications. And also maybe you should get a job too, just so that you have that work experience. And are you volunteering on the weekends so that the colleges think you're an awesome person? When am I supposed to exactly enjoy the last vestiges of my childhood? The last vestiges of my childhood. Why are you stopping? There is literally no reason for you to stop. There was not a pedestrian. There was not another car coming. I do not understand why you stopped. This day, y'all, this is chaos. And when I told my mother I was moving to LA, she was like, aren't you going to be bad in the traffic? Well, no, because that's expected there. But also, it wasn't expected this much. You can never really tell from the situation, am I supposed to be an adult here? Or am I supposed to enjoy the last vestiges of my childhood? How are you supposed to do that? Because, you got these people will be like, oh, you're so young. You're so young, you just don't know anything. You just don't know anything. But also grow up. You need to grow up. sometimes within the same 5 minutes. It's hard to tell based on whatever situation you're in. Am I supposed to be an adult right here, or am I supposed to still be a child? I don't know. Mixed signals. Where am I going? I don't know, but it should probably include or end in food at some point soon. I am starving. So then there's the applying to college thing, right? And which is just awful, because like you have to figure out where you want to go and what you want to do, and maybe you have your parents or a hyperactive guidance counselor on your back saying like you have to decide what you need to major in. Like you didn't decide by the time you were in 6th grade. You didn't know when you were in the 6th grade. You're behind. You're behind. Filling out the applications itself is annoying because they all want the same information, but in just a slightly different way, so that you can't just go on autopilot and fill it all out for every single one. Like they'll tweak it just enough for it to be annoying, which is good practice for when you have to start filling out a bunch of job applications, because those are the same freaking way. So you're doing the applications, then you have to do your regular school stuff, and then maybe you have a job, but then also you have to do the things, the volunteering and the stuff to make you look good for the college, right? And these are things that are usually only done by people who are trying to get into college and trying to look good. And after you do all of that stuff, after you read to blind kittens or whatever you've done to write your essay about how you've overcome struggles and filled out the 90 applications and paid the $50 application fee or whatever it is, they might not even want you. Be like, no, this person over here read to blind chimpanzees instead of kittens. That's better. And it really does seem to be getting earlier and earlier. Like if you don't know where you want to go to college and what you want to major in by the time you're by the time you hit like the 6th grade, like people, it makes it seem like you're going to fail in life completely. And here's the secret. It doesn't matter. You don't have to know, right? You'll get to college and some people will spend 5 years there, change their major 19 different times and be completely fine. You don't have to know, right? Sometimes you'll get halfway through the degree and go, oh, I don't think I want to do this. And sometimes you'll still complete that degree because you can use it for other stuff. I'm not speaking from personal experience. I didn't get halfway through my degree and go, oh God, I don't think I ever want to be in a classroom. But I completed the degree because I'd already put in enough of that work, and I knew that I could use my education degree for other things. My music education degree, right? Like if it was just a plain old education degree, I don't know about that. But like you can perform and do lots of other stuff with a music education degree. He says, trying to convince himself as much as you. Really? This is nice. This is pleasant. I like driving down Sunset Boulevard. Always have, really. It's nice. Now there have been several times where Waze has tried to make me turn left onto Sunset at 5 in the afternoon. Like, no. Why do you think that's going to work? There's no way I'm going to be able to do that. Oh, but of course, then I'm just supposed to just shove myself into the traffic anyway and just block all the traffic. Yeah, that's what we're supposed to do. So basically, don't feel like you have to figure out what you're going to major in and what you're going to do with the rest of your life by next Tuesday, no matter what your coked out guidance counselor says. And maybe she's not coked out. Maybe she's just hyperactive and has really frizzy hair. Maybe she's just always that energetic. You run into this in college too, but I feel like it's a lot more strict in high school, where you have the requirements for graduation, where you have the requirements for graduation, right? And it's always like, there's always classes that you're never going to use anything in it. And it's so boring, but you have to take it. Whereas it's like, oh, this could actually be useful for the thing I want to do with my life. And this sounds like fun. No, you can't take that because you got to take this other thing. And they like are constantly changing the requirements slightly from year to year. So it's like, oh, so now I need a third math class. I had this all planned out and now I need a third math class. Like, it's so dumb. And I feel like they always have a class or a rotation of classes that are like, the goal is to try and make you, like, prepare you for some aspect of adulthood. But instead of like, oh, here's how you do your taxes. Here's how you like write a budget. Here's how you deal with insurance stuff. It's always like, let's read the 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens. Okay, cool. Synergy. I hated that book. Because one chapter it was like, don't compromise. And then the next chapter was like, everything's all about compromise. And then there's always like that state history class you have to take somewhere in there, which is like, do I remember anything from my New Mexico history class? No, I remember that Santa Fe is the oldest capital in the country. It's pretty much it. Pretty much it. And in the 7th grade, I could tell you every county and county seat in New Mexico. What possible use is that now in my life? None. So take the state history class, even though most of you are probably planning on putting the state behind you and never seeing it again. There's dating. I mean, I didn't really date in high school because I was a closeted gay in a conservative place who was figuring out that he was a closeted gay. So that was a completely separate topic. But I've heard horror stories. I've heard horror stories from people who did that. Like, you're all inept. You're all incompetent. Like, you don't know anything. But, like, you're trying to figure it out. And it's awful. It just seems like trying to figure out dating while you're also incompetent at everything else in life. Just, who designed this system? Dumb. So, what are we doing here? So that's it for this episode of Drive Time as I sit in this traffic that I don't know why we're stopped. Make sure you like the video if you liked it. If you don't like it, just ignore it. Just pretend you didn't see it. And you can subscribe to the channel and follow me on all the things. I'm that KJ Bell on all the stuff you can find me on. And yeah, have a pleasant what there's a crosswalk with a light literally like 20 feet away, and you're gonna cross here. Jesus. May your drive be better than mine.